Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the EDM Grid podcast. My name is Henry, also known as Henkray. Sadly, Oswald still isn't here. He's moving house, he's moving country, and he is incredibly sad that he is missing the next couple episodes. Which, speaking of which, I am actually very happy because we've got our first Brit. We've finally got one. Everybody, please welcome in Martin from Full Flex Audio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Yourself?
I'm doing very good as well. We finally got the first one. How many episodes? It's been like 12 episodes and not one Brit, which I'm actually quite surprised about. I thought there would be more.
Especially being a British podcast, that's quite surprising.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of all over the place. It's been a hell trying to organise stuff, especially the Disfing episode, because he was Australian, so he had to try and deal with Disfing, who was in like a plus time zone, and then Oswald, who was like -5. So he had like a very specific time.
All the time zones.
Yeah, like Disfing was recording at midnight. Oswald was recording at 7 a.m. So we had to. I was happy. I was recording at 3 p.m. That was a perfect time for me. That's not my issue in the slightest. But yeah, it was a very tricky one to sort out. I actually have a question to start off. I thought of a question. I have done my research.
Yep.
Obviously, it has been just shy of like just past the 10-year anniversary of Full Flex, which we're definitely going to be talking about later. I wanted to ask you, what are some of your personal favorite moments of Full Flex, of just having the label in the first place? Like, what are some of your best highlights of the label in general?
Best highlights, probably back in 2016, I want to say, or 2017, I went to Amsterdam to meet up with Madcore for his album release party on Full Flex Audio. That was very cool and very different.
It was an IRL release party.
That was in real life. That was the first time I went abroad without my family, and I was scared to death. But I did it anyway.
Well, and you jammed out to some tunes.
Yeah, I mean, Madcore, Cadaver, Volk, and Ivory, and The Lion, who are all on the album, played their songs on the album and participated in the event, which was really cool.
That's actually sick. Have you done anything similar since, or was that like the only time that you've done something
similar
like that?
Since then we haven't really done anything. Apart from COVID, we've done like a Minecraft fest, which was really good. I kind of want to do more of that. Like, that kind of stuff kind of hits different compared to like in real life people, like events. But yeah, it's something that I can consider definitely in the future, to do more in real life stuff.
Stay tuned to Full Flex Audio to see some cool stuff happening. By the way, all links are in the description if you want to go check them out. I have been following them. They are a very cool label. You should definitely go check them out.
Very cool, very nice.
What other stuff do you have in the memory bank then? Because I there's probably quite a lot of things which you probably have highlighted over the course of the past 10 years.
I think probably my favourite thing about working on FFA is just like meeting the people that I've met over the last 10 years. Like, I've spoken to people from across the world, different countries, just meeting people in general, setting up compilations like Underground Unit, Sui Generis for mixed genres, Loaded Tales for Halloween stuff, and just kind of making releases around these different themes is probably my favourite memory of FFA, meeting these different characters that have passed through the door.
What is it like then, meeting so many different people that are all wanting to be involved with this project that you have, like being so supportive of it?
Yeah, it makes me feel quite well, it makes me feel happy, of course. It makes me feel quite special that people want to choose FFA over potentially different labels, which is cool. I mean, they could release the music anywhere they want. They could self-release it, but the fact that they're taking their time out to either contact me or me contact them, and they'll be like, yes, we'd love to do a release, or I would love to do a release with you. It's just cool to just have that kind of input from artists.
I'm guessing you've also learnt a lot from the past 10 years doing these different compilations and sort of every single time you learn something new that improves the next one.
Yeah, I think the main thing with compilations is over time the compilations have been long tracks, so there's been a lot of tracks on one compilation, whereas nowadays I'm trying to limit it to like 10 to 15 tracks max, because with that I kind of have a ceiling to control quality, whereas if I put like 30 plus tracks on a compilation, it kind of like makes it harder for me to keep track of all the artists that are on board, and I don't actually enjoy making 30 plus track compilations anymore because it's just a hassle more than anything.
What are some of your favourite tracks from FFA?
Oh.
You gotta think on these questions.
That's a tough one, because on Spotify I've released over, I think it's 25 hours worth of music, so damn. I think the one that comes to the top of the head is Unison 500 megahertz. That's like peak FFA, I would say.
I'd like to correct you on your previous statement. I've gone on the Full Flex audio discography. 50 hours worth of content. It's double what you thought it was.
Oh wow. Okay.
50 hours.
Maybe that's just me being tired. I actually thought it was less than that, but of course that's literally double. Okay. Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's crazy, and it's just how much songs are there.
840 songs, 50 hours worth of content.
That's a lot of music.
Over 10 years. So that's like 85 songs a year-ish.
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
So that's more than one a week.
Yeah. I would say recently I've been toning down the release schedule, so like in the past I would try and release as much music as possible, but now I'm kind of focusing to like one release a month, potentially two a month. Not to go overboard, but just to, again, focus on quality over quantity.
Have you found like the underground has very much impressed you with the quality which there is? Because some of the people on here, I genuinely don't know how they do their stuff that they do. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think if you look at more overground labels, shall we say, there's a lot of cookie cutter stuff, like stuff that sounds the same, whereas on FFA each release is different. We try and push different sounds. It's also refreshing for me. Like I would hate to keep on releasing the same kind of style over and over again. Whereas if I release one song that's dubstep and then the next song which is kind of experimental, it keeps me on my toes to keep on focusing on what's best for the label.
So do you think this sort of diversity then is helping you to sort of keep fresh?
Yes, definitely. I think there was a point in time, probably about, I want to say COVID time, where I was actually thinking about packing it in. Where I was just going to be like, yeah, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. But I think I kind of just got through that, and then out of nowhere people kept on sending music, and then I kept on getting more and more songs, and then just after that I was like, okay, I need to keep on going. The people want music. The people want more music, so I need to keep on going.
That's so what was it then during lockdown? Because obviously it was a period of time where everything very much stood still. So was it then for you something about how more time meant that more people had more time to make songs and then decide to send it in to you, and then you had more time to work on it and release stuff?
Yeah, I think 2020 was one of the most successful years for FFA, because obviously people had more time to just stay at home and listen to music and that kind of stuff. But we also released Chiptune EP by Devaf, which is Probably one of my favourite EPs released on FFA over the time of doing it over the last 10 years. And just a lot of successful music was released in 2020.
So what are there any other highlights then for you in terms of FFA and sort of things you can remember about it?
Releasing with Deviate, that was a big one. I remember Bullet's EP was one of the best EPs on FFA. Just helping artists as well, like don't even know. Well, Madcore has been a big part of FFA. Khmer has been a big part of FFA. He released on Underground Unit Sector 5 and now he's doing really good things. Releasing with artists like Unison, Kada Fox, Surgeon, artists that are like really deserve it.
Who is the biggest artist? Because I'm scrolling through your discography and you've got some pretty big names. You've got Pleeg, obviously Caval, which we'll talk about later. IVORY was on incredibly early.
I would say IVORY is probably the biggest, even though he was quite big at that time. I'd probably say he's the biggest artist, and then probably Pleeg.
How many artists do you keep up with in terms of like contacts and stuff? Like, do you speak to them sometimes after they release?
Yeah, keep in touch. Usually if there's a release ongoing, I'll keep in touch with them throughout the whole thing, and then afterwards, like just for like after promo. Also depends on where I am at the schedule. Like whoever's coming up next, I'll begin to contact them about release schedules, promo plans, artwork, visuals, all that kind of stuff. And it can be quite a lot to keep on top of, but that's when I have A&Rs as well that come in and they help to scout tracks, sign tracks and make releases.
Yeah, I'm guessing that A&Rs have been incredibly helpful, especially with the quality control, which you also said that you wanted to sort of keep on top of.
Yeah, and basically I'll sift through all the main demos, and then in our Discord server we've got a forum dedicated to new demos, and we can kind of highlight which ones are new, which ones are under review, need feedback, accepted, rejected. It's all very streamlined, our demo process, which is cool.
I wanna then go back to the start of Full Flex Audio, because we were talking before and you said that you didn't think that that Full Flex would even get to this point that it's in right now. Very much one of the top labels of the underground EDM. What was starting this label like? Obviously you didn't expect it to go as far as it has, but what were the expectations of it starting it?
At the time, I was actually making music, not very good music, shall we say, but I was making music and also starting FFA. I think I started FFA probably about 2 or 3 years later, after starting to delve into music creation, just listening to a lot of electronic music at that time, and then just one day I thought, alright, I'm going to start to think about making a record label. So I just started going through the process of finding a distributor, looking for somebody to do the logo. The original logo was made by somebody called Nine Hydras, who currently works for Bungie, which is amazing. He didn't work for Bungie beforehand, but he got the opportunity for doing different projects, which is amazing. I think at the time that I was creating it, it was more so a hobby. Like I wasn't really expecting anything. I was just doing free downloads at the start, and there was nothing really, like no massive traction apart from maybe the free compilation at the start.
Was it then like, were you prepared at all for the amount of work that was expected when starting a record label? Because sometimes I hear from record label owners that like if you want to start one, it's probably not worth the time and the effort to make one, and is very demanding. So were you aware of it?
Yeah, I think so. It's also you make of what you put into it. Like whatever you put into something is what you'll get out of it. So if it means putting money into it, putting creative design into it, then you have to be willing to kind of make those changes in your life to kind of sacrifice. Like a lot of my spare time was spent doing FFA. Like I wouldn't go out. I would just like focus on FFA and just crank out tunes basically.
So wait, so how much money sort of have you put into FFA at this point?
Oh, a lot. I would just say a lot. I mean, it's a hobby, so, and it's self-made. So whatever I make is my gains and my losses, basically.
So how much do you think the industry then has changed since you started FFA?
I think for one, physical downloads are almost non-existent. Maybe CDs and stuff like that is almost a thing of the past, especially for EDM music. But it's more so like digital stuff like Spotify and Apple Music is huge.
So so then were you selling CDs and like DVDs at the start of Full Flex, or?
I had one CD. I've actually got it framed because my sister made this for me when I was
Oh my god! Is that the
There we
old
go.
Full Flex or logo?
That's the old Full Flex Audio logo. Yeah. Don't know if you can see it right, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's not too different from the one you have now.
Yeah, the logo this year has just been changed. Well, not changed. It's been adapted for like a fresh kind of look.
Yeah, it's a lot more modern. You're missing the outline as well, which sort of makes it look cleaner and less messy, I'd say.
Yeah, it's also quite cool because it's a bit more rounded. So the previous logo was quite jagged, and at the start we kind of focused on more heavier music, but now the rounded logo kind of gives it a more like mixed genres approach.
I have an interesting question for you. If you were to go back in time and change something, what would you change about you starting a label? Would there be anything that you would change?
I don't think so, actually. I don't think I would change anything. I think I've done what I've done, and it's in the place that it's at for hard work and perseverance, I would say.
Was it difficult then to sort of get this project started and?
Oh, massively difficult. Yeah. I mean, it was lucky that I found artists like Madcore, Cadaver, Volk. Who else? Trent Cast, for like artists that really helped kind of build the label from the start, and then also from the free compilation, I would kind of schedule releases based on these artists. So it's making like almost like a family of artists at the start, and then I could branch out. That was the main idea, to kind of branch out after the free compilation, and then release a second one, and then from there just see where I was at.
So, what I'm trying to picture is, at what point did you then start to go, oh wait, this might actually be something more than just a group of friends?
I think it was probably maybe 2016, 17, like a couple of years in. Songs were getting good traction on SoundCloud. People were downloading music. Royalty statements were looking good, and I was like, okay, I think I have to just keep on pushing with this.
Wait, so that's actually interesting. I wanna touch on royalties, because that's a very interesting part of label management. Is copyright. Does the distributor do that for you, or is there another process? Okay, all right.
So our distributor is Labelworks. They're also from the UK, which is quite handy. They help to basically monitor copyrighted content.
So have you worked with them like the whole of the 10 years, or
the whole 10 years I've worked with Labelworks, which is good. It also kind of helps with longevity, and they are a decent distributor.
Yeah, I'm guessing it also helps sort of having something you're used to stick around for that entire time.
Yeah, yep. And also for longevity, they offer better royalty rates, so they take a cut for all the songs that are released, which is fair enough because they distribute it to all the platforms, so they did take some sort of cut, but over the years they've given me a higher cut, which is cool, so I appreciate that, obviously.
Yeah, it's also probably pretty cool because I know a lot of stuff like this is then also gotten worse over the years. Like you see with DistroKid how horrendous it has gotten over the past.
Yeah, I never had a chance to use DistroKid, but I've heard things.
Yeah, that not many of it is positive.
Nah.
So it might just be nice to have something where you can stick to it for 10 years and it sort of stays the same and doesn't really fall off like some of the other things do.
Nothing much has really changed on Labelworks, which is great. Like it's been the same royalty platform for the whole 10 years, which is, it doesn't really change anything for me. And it's all quarterly statements, so I don't need to be sending royalties out all the time. It's on a quarterly basis that the artists get royalties from FFA, which is cool. I mean, it's quite a nice way to send and receive royalties.
I wanna also ask, at what point did you stop working on your own music stuff? Like, was it because you were like, I wanted to focus on the label?
Yeah, at the point, it probably was again 2016, 2017. I was making my own music. I was running FFA, and I was also working 50 hours a week in a kitchen. And it was kind of like, what do I want to do most? So obviously I don't want to drop the kitchen job because that would be stupid. That'd be really stupid, dropping a full-time job for music. So it was between the label that I just started and making music, which I had recently picked up. And then I thought to myself, which one is going to be better for the long term? And I just thought that Full Foot Solid would be the best option.
That decision has very much paid out then, it seems.
And then I do not make music at all anymore. I just don't have the creative spark for it. It's not for me.
Do you ever wish that you would go back to it, or like, do you ever want to go back to it, or is it like
there's the odd time that I'll just open up FL Studio and just make like a 4-bar kick pattern, like kick drum pattern, then just close it and then call it a day.
That's fair. It doesn't sound.
And then just go back to FFA stuff. That's it. Like I do not care for it. I mean, I appreciate the artists that do it because it's so difficult to make music. It's difficult to make good music, shall I say?
Yeah. Especially, it's sort of balancing so many things. Like you've also recently moved in and got a puppy, so
the
time
puppy
management
it's puppy life.
Yeah, time management has probably gotten a hell of a lot worse since.
Yeah, because we were doing a lot of stuff in the Discord, like game nights and stuff like that, and then since getting the puppy, it's difficult to find the time to do that. Every
time you start up a game, the dog,
it's peeing the floor. Oh no, that kind of stuff.
That's disappointing. That's unfortunate. I wanna then move on to lockdown, because you did talk about that and about nearly quitting, which I find very interesting, because there's a lot of points that I hear from artists or from label owners where they get to a point where the motivation isn't there and they sort of don't want to keep doing it. But
yeah,
then
definitely.
They still poo through, and then what ends up happening is it becomes better than what it originally was.
Yeah. Or sometimes it can be that you keep on pushing and then you just burn yourself out, which it was getting to that point. Like, I was also noticing there was different competition coming in, and then I was looking at their releases and I'm like, oh damn, I wish FA was like that. And then I would kind of beat myself up about it, and then I'd be like, oh, don't want to do this. And then I'd just be like, right, just forget about it, don't worry about competition, just worry about yourself. And then I just well, I didn't take therapy, but I basically gave myself therapy, basically saying like, don't worry about anybody else, just focus on yourself.
How much do you, or sort of did you compare yourself to the competition and sort of see who else is out there?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah. Who was kicking it about at that time? Audio was doing really well.
Yeah. You got, I think Exobolt was very much starting to become quite a big thing around that time as well.
Yeah, I like Exobolt. Exobolt are cool.
Who else was there?
Prime Audio. Prime Audio is a classic. Who else? I think roughly. Well, Crow's Nest as well.
That might be a flashback to all the people listening in.
Yeah. Crow's Nest was a big one back in the day.
Do you think that the competition has gotten more or less since that point?
Probably more, I think, because there's other labels right now that are pushing good sounds like Port Zero, Hardtooth, Sounds of Mayhem. There's loads of really good labels out there right now.
So then, do you think that in COVID times, obviously that was the point where everything stood still, like I mentioned, but how was it then working on the label that you had all the time that you had to work on the label? Did you find it easier or more difficult?
I think I just had more time to manage it, really. So yeah, I've definitely found it easier to contact artists and also listen to demos because I had nothing else to do. So that was good.
How much time do you spend listening to demos?
Oh, usually I dedicate a Monday specifically to demos because I'm off my other work every Monday, guaranteed. So I'll probably spend like an hour, maybe 2 hours listening to demos, depending on how many sent.
How what's the average that you usually get sent?
An average a week, maybe about 20 to 25.
So then 25 times 3 is, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes every week.
Yeah. And I try to give every song feedback, which other labels don't, which is it's difficult to give feedback to every track because sometimes you try and listen to something and you get sidetracked, and it's sometimes I can only be like, sorry, unfortunately we can't release it at this time. But if I hear something that I think's good and I want to take it further, then I'll give them feedback and break it down in different sections.
How often do you find that a song is nearly at the point where you would release it, but it's missing a key element or a key touch that then stops it?
Yeah, quite a lot of the time. There's a lot of occasions where somebody has sent me a song that's been so close to done, but it's either I'm not sure of something or one of the A&Rs is not sure of something, and then we kind of disagree, and then we're like, okay, let's try and work this out.
How many? Wait, so what's it like working with? How many A&Rs do you work with?
There's 2 at the moment. There's Rai, who's been doing it for a while now, and there's also Elixir.
How many times do you disagree with them on some of the songs?
Oh, there's a good few times. There's sometimes I'll say that there's, like, check this out, this is really good, and then one of the two guys will be like, nah, this is not good. Or nah, it's not for us.
So how do you then work that out as sort of a team? Like, how many times do you then go, right, let's try and be a bit more objective here and figure this out?
Yeah, it's more so trying to figure out what works for FFA at that time. So if it's a good sound that works for what's been released previously or coming up, we'll kind of make a compromise and be like, okay, I think people will like this one, so we'll just go ahead with it.
What are you then looking for songs that get onto FFA then?
Originality, uniqueness is what we're looking for. Like, it may not be the most like quarter note whatever that people are looking for, but I think the main thing for me is having something that's memorable, that's a bit different, quirky sound design, that kind of stuff.
Has that always been the focus for you? Like, going back to what you did around 2020, was that always sort of, you wanted to make a label that promoted unique stuff?
Yeah, I think 2020, more so, well, the start was more rhythmy stuff, and then it kind of went into tear out, and then it's kind of went into futuristic sounds, and then 2020 was more so just like anything, really.
Do you ever notice patterns with your discography that you see sort of certain trends in like certain eras? Like, oh, you have this time which is electronic future bass stuff, and then you go into drum and bass, and then house, and then something like that. Do you ever notice those like groups?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll deliberately stack releases together, so there'll be like, for example, September, October, November, there's like 3 releases in a row that are quite similar. It just helps to kind of build a familiarity, and then maybe in December I can release something slightly different.
I'm curious now, how many like time events do you do? Like, have you ever put out like a Halloween compilation, or like a Christmas compilation, or a summer compilation?
Christmas I would love to do. Christmas I've done 12 Days of Flexmas, which was like kind of a cheesy thing, but it was just 12 free downloads over the 12 days. Halloween we do a compilation called Lurid Tales, which is it's based around more spooky kind of eerie stuff, and it releases on Halloween, which makes more sense.
What do you then pre-release it? Because I don't think you'd personally spend your entire time of Halloween having to deal with sorting out full flex audio compilations.
Yeah, it's all sorted out in the background. It's quite nice releasing something on Halloween, because it's kind of like a special kind of
special
release.
day.
It's a special day. Some people love it. Like, I know Americans go crazy for it. I wouldn't say Scottish go crazy for it that much, but
yeah, I don't think.
I mean, I like Halloween.
I
like Halloween. I think it's quite cool.
Obsessed with the concept of Halloween. We don't really see it that much.
Nah.
As a theme park nerd, I do see it in terms of like, you have theme parks which do a lot of Halloween stuff, but apart from that, you never really see stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't really see many trick-or-treaters going around.
Nah.
So then, what other stuff did you do back in the day then? Would you do anything differently during lockdown?
Differently during lockdown? I think it was just a case of not knowing what to do, because the restrictions were in place and you couldn't really do anything anyway, but I wasn't entirely sure where the label was going to go in that time. It was just kind of like at a stalemate, I guess.
Were there many times that you just thought to go with the flow and to see what happens?
Yeah. I mean, I think the best example of that was just putting out music, just keep on going, and I think sometimes you have to go with the flow to see what other people are putting out, and then just making it your own, trying to keep on going with the release schedule.
I want to now talk about the modern stuff, because you have been absolutely killing it with the modern stuff.
Yep.
You've got the 10-year anniversary of Full Flex, which was amazing.
I think that's probably the best compilation that's been released on FFA.
You think so?
I think, me personally, I think that's the best one.
Was it then a pain to sort through all of the songs to try and find like was it 10 songs? Yeah, the 10 best songs.
Yeah, I thought for the 10-year compilation, it has to be 10 years, and it has to be artists that have been prominent over the last 10 years.
So I'm having a look right now. I've got the Spotify pulled up. Bass T, Good Friend, Divath is on there, Primal Rights, Eckley is on there. A lot of familiar names for you.
Yep.
What was also the process of you? Because I remember you also picked out like the fans' favorite song, or like the best song from the 10 years. What was the idea behind that? That was quite fun.
That was just a thing that I thought of on the side, because I remember when we released an EP called Industry EP. It was, I think that was 2020 as well, by Voicel. It was funny because the artwork revolved around music software. So basically I made a tournament to decide which one's the best music software. For example, like Ableton, FL Studio, Cubase,
Logic,
Bitwig, Logic. God, I can't remember what else was on that. It was a long time ago. But basically, I made that format into like a tournament for which one's the best track, and the best track was Unison 500 MHz, which I think is the most creative song released on FFA.
Was there an upset in there which you thought, oh, maybe that should have went further, but it didn't really?
I think one of the upsets was Madcore's Gunslinger. That was a very popular song released on Underground Unit Sector 4. I want to say off the top of my head. That was a very popular track, and that got beat by Maro Akimbo, which is another really good song. But people like an upset, people like an underdog.
Apparently so. What was then like having this 10-year anniversary? Was it very much like you looking back and seeing sort of the highlights of Full Flex as a label?
Yeah, I remember last year when I started creating the idea, I looked on I looked on Facebook, and I was just double checking what the date was of when I posted the profile picture, and it was July 8th, and I was like, okay, right, 10-year anniversary is literally a year away, so I need to get a move on thinking of ideas. It's very, very, don't know what the word is, it's very nice to look back. Yeah, definitely. Just really nice to look back and see that 10 years has been worth it, like in terms of effort and also money put into it.
I want to also talk about what was the EP? It was the Kaval EP, which I really, really enjoyed. What was that like?
I can't remember when I started talking to Kaval about that EP, but it's a very good EP. I think he's one of the artists that has really came on leaps and bounds over the years, and he's got such a unique style that, like, when you hear a track, you know it's Kaval.
Yeah, you've got so many sort of unique artists. Obviously, Seth Parazotto, huge friend of the channel and just of mine in general.
Great artist, very creative.
Yeah, definitely. He recently put out a song which he needed me to shout into my mic for. I think it was his latest Distortion Night, the first song on it. If you hear at some point, you will hear my voice. I think that's pretty funny. Just you hear this random guy just in the background screaming. Fehu is also a very unique artist as well.
Yeah,
I'm very big on Fehu.
Try to get him back on for 2026.
Definitely. Who is one of your favourite artists then that you have worked with over the years? Oh,
no. I think Khmer is a good one. I remember when he first started, it was a very early track in his like sound design journey. Like, he was very heavy at the start, like heavy tear out kind of vibes, and then as time progressed he got more melodic, and then got into like a more experimental fusion kind of style. And I think, well, at that time, I think we released about 5 or 6 songs from him within the space of like half a year. And yeah, I just noticed a lot of progress, like in him as an artist.
Do you see that a lot with some of the artists which you have, like they got into a compilation and then they start to make more stuff, and you're like, oh my god, they've changed so much in terms of their style.
Yeah, and it's even better when you see an artist release on FFA and then go on to a slightly bigger label and then see the progress that's been made. Because some people see FFA as like a stepping stone towards bigger things, which I kind of agree with, kind of disagree with, but it is what it is. But it's nice to see people making progress, you know.
How much do you see of artists getting onto FFA and then sort of taking that next step and becoming a bigger artist in terms of just putting out more stuff that does well?
Yeah, it's definitely varied. Like some people will have stuff already in the tank after FFA. Some artists won't. Some artists will be kind of thinking of ideas or having like work in progress just laid down for now. But some artists will have a stacked release schedule and just keep on going.
Yeah, I sometimes see artists who release like every other week, and I just think, how do you have the time for that?
Yeah, I think once a month is a good schedule for artists. Like have it nicely spaced out for each release to kind of have some space.
Do you ever find that when you try to release something, you don't have enough songs, or do you find that you have songs that are booked in months in advance?
Yeah, I mean the schedule right now is booked out until I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's July next year.
Jeez.
So,
wow.
I mean, some of the releases aren't finished. Like the July ones are just like estimated release dates plus ideas have been sent. But releases from now till December are pretty much done. January, February is on the move, and then anything after that is just like work in progress.
So you have a very big overflow of songs to be released.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to have that kind of insurance almost. So you've got an insurance of releases coming up, so you know that if you're stuck, like if one artist kind of falls through or they say like they need more time, I can switch the release around.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not a big deal really if they can't make a deadline. I'll always be flexible. Flex, nice.
Hey,
I'll always be flexible to move release dates and deadlines.
That joke was horrific. That was awful.
That was terrible. That was a dad joke, and I'm not even a dad. Well, I'm a puppy dad, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh, that's a knee slapper. That is. That's your dad telling the joke at Christmas, and then you're just going, oh my god.
Yeah, nobody laughs.
Definitely. So then, how many songs do you then get in which then go to other places? Because March, July is a very long time. So do you ever see sort of artists, you say, oh, we'll have the release in June, and then they try other places?
Yeah. I mean, some people will want a sooner release date, which is totally fair. Sometimes I can't give them that, so if they want to release it somewhere else, that's absolutely fine. Like, I'll hold no grudges.
Do you also plan compilations in that release schedule as well? So you'll have like a few solo releases, and then you're going to have a compilation at some point, and then a few more solo releases, and then another compilation.
It's nice to kind of have like a rotating schedule. So we'll do like a single EP, single compilation, that kind of structure. But in 2026 we're going to be introducing different. Come
on then, let's talk about the future of full flex audio.
Future.
It's a
so
scary time.
One of the big, well, maybe not big things, but one of the things we're going to be introducing is a new series dedicated to artists with less than 1,000 followers.
I have seen that actually. I did see that. I saw you post about that.
So it's kind of like Underground Unit, but on a smaller scale. So the Underground Unit compilation series is basically fostering the underground community, whereas this compilation is strictly for small artists that deserve the kind of shine.
Lurid Tales. Demos until October 1st.
Yep.
What was the idea behind that then? Did you just want to foster more of the underground within the label and
Yeah. I like giving the smaller artists a chance on like a semi decent platform, I guess. Like having the resources, like on FA, you're not just getting a release, you're also getting artwork, which is high quality, and visuals, which is high quality. So I think that counts for something for people that want to release on the label.
What other things do you have planned? Are there any things which you sort of want to do but will probably never be able to do?
I would love to host an in real life event based on FFA as a whole, like kind of like an event. That's always been a dream. I don't know how I could do that because it would probably be a UK thing, but it's something to think about.
What, you wouldn't want to have it over in America? You would want to keep it within,
or maybe it's a possibility.
Are there any like future compilation that you want to potentially do? Is there any ideas for compilations that you would love to do?
Just the one for the small artists. It's going to be more like it's like a 4-track mini comp, and then we're going to release that more often. So it's going to be like often? maybe I'm trying to aim for once every 3 or 4 months.
So 12 songs a year from artists with strictly under 1,000 followers.
Yep.
Would you restrict it so that like only like an artist can only feature once on any of these compilations, or will you have it so that you can then re-release on these compilations?
It's a good idea, but I think keeping the options open is a nice idea to have people come back to the same series.
Are there any future things that you also have planned which you wouldn't mind spoiling for the future of FFA?
I'm going to sound boring and say no, because I can't give away much, but well, I'll leave it at that.
Is the future exciting at least? Are we gonna be eating good in the future?
Yeah, it's going to be a good feast.
Good feast. It's also very exciting because FFA has definitely very much stepped up as a label. At least I have noticed more and more over the years, and sort of seeing how it progresses to then becoming the platform that it is. It's very exciting for the future to see how it will continue to get better and continue to keep growing its community.
Yeah, just got to keep on going. Keep on pushing out the music in the best possible way, of course.
And maybe we can make it to a year with songs locked up in the vault, ready to be released.
Yeah, that'd be if I could get a full year's schedule locked in with final audio, that'd be a dream.
Sure, that must be so like mind-blowing as well, even to have a couple months of songs just stacked up ready to go.
It's a good feeling, because then I know that I'm not scraping around for releases, which you never want to be in. That is a horrible position that I've been in plenty of times in the past.
That sounds horrific to try and do that.
Like if a deadline falls through a couple of days before and I don't have time for any art or anything like that, I just get like, let's just cut it out. Cut it out and just leave it.
Just keep going. I'm guessing also some of the like compilations, like the Sui Generis, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Abandonware, really like that one when it came out. You've got those that will just continue to keep going on throughout next year there as well.
Yep, I mean, Abandonware we haven't done this year, so we're going to try and bring that back to... It's more like a themed compilation series, that one, so we're going to try and bring that back.
How long does it take to work on a compilation like that?
Probably about a year. Maybe half a year. Because depending on what it is, like Lurid Tales has probably been in the works for 3 or 4 months.
How early do you then get the audio for that as well?
Ooh, depends how fast people work, really. If they're fast workers, they'll get it pretty soon. If they need a bit more time, it might be like bang on the deadline.
Maybe. So then what is the process then of working towards some of these labels and what you'll be doing for the next coming years?
Not sure, really. It's just
do you just work on it together? Like, just start to develop the idea and then take it further?
Yeah, we'll just always develop it further.
How much of there is the sort of refined process where you have the initial idea and then you sort of start to shape it and to develop the idea before actually starting to execute on it?
It takes a while. Obviously the help with the A&R as well. It's a long process to just kind of get into.
I'm very excited to see what's in store for the future of Full Flex Audio. It sounds very excited.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very excited. I just really like the label as well. I've been following since I thought I knew Zeph Parazotto. Love his stuff, and then I saw it and I was like, oh, this label looks really cool. Razinus as well, someone that I know. Getting on Sui Genesis Volume 7. And yeah, just seeing it progress and having more songs. I also really like it's not on Spotify, I don't think, but the remix EP of Caval's songs I really liked. I did enjoy that one. I thought the songs were very good on it. I think I downloaded Eckley's remix as well. I did really like that. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future of the label. I'm
looking forward to it as well. It's gonna be good.
I wanna ask you now, because we are getting to the end of the episode. It goes fast. It goes really, really fast the entire time. It feels like it hasn't been that long, but it goes fast. And Oswald usually asks this question, but when he isn't here, I like to ask it for him because it's the end of the episode. It's a tradition. Just not in terms of FFA, just in general, sort of you listening to music. What are currently some of the songs that you really, really like listening to? What are your current favourite songs?
This is going to sound like a bit of a curveball, but I don't actually listen to that much EDM in my spare time.
Surprising how many artists say that, because sometimes I say that and they're like, oh, actually I don't listen to EDM, I listen to like rock music or folk music or something like that.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of rock music, a lot of heavy metal, just anything that's, well, I suppose heavy metal kind of has the same energy as dubstep, but I like, there's a song right now called, what's it called, Cellophane, by a group called Don Broco. They are very rock heavy, from Bedford in Manchester. Very good.
Bedford, Manchester. I swear there's a theme park that is going to be built there soon.
The
Universal theme park. I think that's happening. I'm just a huge theme park nerd anyway. Is there any other songs you're really liking right now?
Off the top of my head, Sleep Token. Sleep Token's good right now. They're pretty big. I'm not that sure. I've got a bit of brain fog.
That's fair. Do you listen to? I'm guessing you listen to a lot of music while you do work and.
Yeah. A lot of just anything really, anything that comes on.
Your playlist very diverse. Then I take it.
Yeah.
You get like the calmest, nicest like EDM piece you've ever heard, straight into heavy metal and screamo.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's fair enough. What about in the underground then? What are your favourite songs that you've seen just in general from the EDM underground? Because I definitely have my pick of the bunch of some of my favourite tracks.
I know there's a song from Cheap Thrill and Kada Fox called Render Engine coming out on Hard to Records. That's a good one to look out for.
Any others?
Again, you have caught me napping. I'm not entirely sure. Can't think.
Do you listen to that much underground EDM or sort of keep aware of what's happening in this sort of scene? Or do you not really pay too much attention to it nowadays?
Only in the demos, really. Only in demos I really check it.
So you just see what's being released nowadays in terms of...
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you not? Because you were also saying before that when you search for artists to put on the label, sometimes you look at following of like for people you like their following on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at labels to see if you like any people on the labels or hear a song on the label?
Sometimes I do sometimes take follower count into mind, but not always. Like if you make a good song, that's all that matters, really.
Very interesting, but I've very much enjoyed hearing about Full Flex as a label. But enough about me now and me asking you questions. Now is your time to say whatever you want. If you want to promote Full Flex, you can. I will promote it for you as well. Every link's in the description, like I said before. Go check it out. It's amazing. But if there's anything you want to say now, if you want to thank anybody, if you want to do a silly little dance in the corner, which I think that guy did, you're more than welcome to do that. But now is your time to say whatever you want.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening over the last 10 years. It's been a mad journey. And there's more to come, and that's it.
Fair enough. Go check out Full Flex once again. It's in the description. Mic drop, all of that.
That is a mic drop.
Just like drops the headset and leaves the room. Just gets off of camera. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute pleasure to record. I love doing this. I love hearing everyone's story, and this one I was incredibly excited to hear about, just because looking through the discographies and what you've built over the past 10 years, I thought, oh, this could be a really interesting episode.
Yeah, I'm glad to come on. It's been good.
Thank you. So, once again, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. My name is Henry, also known as Henkray. Oswald still isn't here. He's still moving house. We will try getting him in soon. He is still gutted about not being able to join us for some of these episodes coming up. Stay tuned because they are great. We are being joined by Markin. Oh my god, I can't speak. It's too cold in this room. Martin from Full Flex Audio. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.